Hello, this is going to be a short video on how to change temporary SSIDs to permanent SSIDs. And an SSID is a student identifier that is generated when we give the student the ELPA 21 screener. If the student has not been in Grand Island Public Schools before, then we will test them by creating a temporary SSID. As soon as the student is enrolled in their school, then that temporary needs to be updated to a permanent. And that is something that we do periodically. We run a report and then we see all the temporaries and we update them to permanents. You have a Google Doc that walks you through step by step of this process, but I also wanted to make a video to go along with that Google Doc. So here it is. The first step is you're going to click on this link right here that says Test Coordinators. And once that link opens, it's going to take you to another screen, and you're going to click on the link that says Tide. And then when you're here, you're going to click on the user role, and you're going to sign in as me, which is the district coordinator, and then you will hit submit. Once Tide opens, you're going to click on the link here under students, and then you'll click on the link to view, edit, export students. Next step is to select a school, and you're going to select the school that your student attends. So in this case, we're going to select Grand Island Senior High, and then I'm just going to go add, and then that will take us to this next screen, and under ID type, you want to click on the drop-down menu and click on temporary ID, because you're going to be going from a temporary ID to a permanent ID. Now you do know what the student's temporary ID is, so you're going to enter the temporary ID right here where it says SSID. Okay, and so the temporary ID is NET-4243. This is the format that all temporary IDs will take. They always start with NET- and then the temporary ID number. Now you're going to hit search, and we're going to look for this student. Okay, next step is you want to click this button that says View Results, and that is going to show you what your search found. And here you see we've got a student, and it's Elmer Moreno Duran, and he has a temporary ID, and there is his temporary ID, NET-4243. Now before you can do anything with this ID, you have to click on this button to select the student. Now he's the only student. Sometimes you'll have multiple students, but you're going to click on Select Student, and then you're going to click on this pen, and that puts you into edit mode. Okay, so now that I've got the student pulled up, I'm going to click on the edit button, and that is going to take me to the next screen where I can edit this student's SSID. Now the next thing we have to do is pop over to Synergy. So you're going to open Synergy as another link in your screen, another tab. And what we have to do is we have to get the student's state student number, because this is what you're going to update the permanent number with. So I'm going to click on that. Now this will allow me to copy the state student number, and it's always a 10-digit number. And I strongly encourage you to copy rather than looking at it and typing it in, because this has to be an exact copy. If it's one number off, it's not going to work. And so the best way is just to copy it, which is what I've done. And now I'm going to go back to Tide. Okay, so here I am back at the student, and I am going to paste the number right in here where the SSID is, but before I do that I have to click on the edit button to allow me to paste it in here. So I'm going to go ahead and paste it right in there, and then I'm going to save it. Okay, and this is interesting. So when I copied it, obviously I didn't copy it real well because I left off a number, and it will not allow you to save it unless you have all 10 numbers copied. So I'm going to go back and copy it again. Okay, so I've put in the correct number now, and I'm going to save it. Okay, and I'm going to hit the save screen here. But before I do that, I'm going to double check one more thing. I want to go over here to the right of the screen, and I want to double check that English learner status is marked yes. Okay, and then that has to be marked yes on all of the students we give the ELPA 21 screener to. Okay, so that is yes, so that's good. Now I'm going to hit save, and then we'll be able to go on. Okay, and after I hit save, it takes me back to this screen, and I can see that the SSID is now the permanent SSID, no longer a temporary SSID. Okay, so now you want to check the Welcome Center's survey, and if the student does not have an ELPA 21 screener score yet, and that can happen sometimes if the student did very well on the ELPA 21 screener. Then the better the student does on the screener, the longer it takes for the screener results to come back. Okay, so here we see two that do not have screener scores, and not totally sure why some of these don't have screener scores, but I'm just using this as an example. So for instance, if you got a screener score for some of these students, you would simply go under the ELPA 21 screener score, click on the drop-down arrow, and click on whatever the student's score was: proficient, progressing, emerging, or proficiency not demonstrated, determined, PND. And then that updates the spreadsheet, and we need to have the spreadsheet up to date because this is where we pull a lot of the data that we use to make reports and things from. So that, in a nutshell, is how to convert temporary screener scores to permanent SSIDs. And as I mentioned, you have this complete walkthrough in a Google Doc changing temporary student IDs to permanent SSIDs, and everything that we went through I have put into a Google Doc right here, and you have the link to this Google Doc as well. So you should be able to either follow the video or follow the Google Doc to answer all your questions. And all of this information, of course, is found in the Google Doc Helping Families with the OLR process. And this is the link to your Google Doc that walks you through how to change temporary to permanent. And I will also put a link here right to this video, which I haven't done yet because I'm still making the video, but you will have it as soon as you have this document. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. Take care. Bye-bye.